bronchitis in winter. For more on this, Associated Press correspondent Tricia Thomas sent us this report from Rome.
Here at Gemelli Hospital in Rome, where Pope Francis has just been admitted for some checkups. The Pope had several audiences this morning at the Vatican, after which he was taken in a car to the hospital here. He's been suffering from bronchitis for the past few days. They canceled a couple of days of appointments in the Vatican last week and moved them inside his Santa Marta residence. Pope Francis is 88 years old and has quite a few ailments. He has knee problems, which have forced him to go around in a wheelchair over the last few years. He's had intestinal difficulties. Part of the intestine has been removed, and he has had a lot of respiratory problems linked to a childhood illness where part of his lung was removed. Vatican officials are expecting him to stay in the hospital for several days.
Pope Francis's health has worsened over the past 24 hours, according to the Vatican, that described his condition as critical for the first time. Catholic faithful around the world are currently holding prayers for the 88-year-old pontiff. Hundreds gathered at St. Peter's Square at noon, where the Pope traditionally delivers his Angelus prayer every Sunday. Pope Francis sent a message to his followers saying he has full confidence in his treatment.
I am sure that he is receiving all the necessary care here, and that they are doing their utmost to get him well and send him back to the Vatican in the best possible condition. We hope he makes it, and we send him a thought. We who are here every day.
This comes after the Vatican for the first time say the pontiff's health had deteriorated and described his condition as critical. The Pope was admitted to Rome's Gemelli Hospital after experiencing difficulties in breathing for several days. During his 12 years as leader of the Roman Catholic Church, the Argentinian pontiff has been hospitalized several times, including in March 2023, when he spent 3 nights in hospital for bronchitis. The Pope was first admitted to the hospital on February 14th after experiencing breathing difficulties for several days. The Pope is particularly vulnerable to lung infections due to developing pleurisy, an inflammation around the lungs, after having part of his lung removed at the age of 21.
Vatican statement this morning said that the Pope had a peaceful night and he rested. This after a very worrisome bulletin last night in which they said he'd taken a turn for the worse, was in critical condition after a major respiratory crisis. He had a long problem with asthma and needed a lot of oxygen. They also said he had to have a blood transfusion because some of his blood tests were showing that he was anemic. The prognosis is still reserved. Pope has now been in the hospital for 10 days. He came in on February 14th with bronchitis, but they soon discovered he had pneumonia in both his lungs. He is staying here in the 10th floor apartment dedicated for popes when they're ill, and he is not expected to appear today for his Angelus, although people have been gathering here to pray at the statue of John Paul II below his rooms and light candles and pray for him.
In other news, Pope Francis' health has worsened over the last 24 hours. This according to the Vatican, which described his condition as critical for the very first time. In a statement, the Vatican said the 88-year-old was alert but had suffered a respiratory attack that required high-flow oxygen and also blood.